Oh, here's a good one. Stop raving about Woody Allen. I don't care if he shits gold. Find a non-accused abuser to fanboy over. Now that's a very interesting way to put it. A non-accused, not a non-convicted, non-accused.
Accused.
Woody Allen, of course, was accused. I think to date, he was not convicted. I think that the
Mm-mm.
jury is still out there. What they found, what they found, the evidence to support the claim was kind of dodgy because of the um, apparent what the person that was abused said that they were abused in like an attic, and then when they examined the attic, they found out that it wasn't even finished yet. So like the floor was completely loose, and like the floorboards were jutting out and whatever. I don't think that's really raping conditions. I mean, I wouldn't know what raping conditions were, just so we're clear on that. But
Yeah,
I don't think
the conditions are prime for raping.
yeah.
Like, I could just
God
see
damn.
Steve Irwin sitting down in like a corner of this shoddy motel, like hunched over in the background, like peeking his head out from behind the bathroom, and like there's this obviously greasy dude and this poor little girl or something, like on the bed. It's like, and the conditions are prime for raping for this awful predator. Let's just sit here and watch like a bunch of morons rather than try and prevent a horrible situation that'll mentally scar this little girl forever. It's like, no, you don't fucking do that.
He's a rapist in his natural habitat. Let's explore. Oh my god, we are going to
We're gonna
hell.
go to. Yes, we are going to hell. I was just
Um,
about to say that.
yeah. But yeah,
I love Steve Irwin. He would never do anything like that.
I don't know about a single person who gives a shit about Woody Allen anymore. But then again, I
I had
would.
to think about who he was, to be honest with you. I was like, what? Yeah.
I will have to say that a person's art should not be reflected about um, what a person is. For example, Bill Cosby. He
Yeah.
you know, with the whole scandal that he's in, nobody
How?
would disagree
That's
that
actually.
he's a good comedian and that his show, you know, was excellent. Till this day, it's like a cult classic.
Yeah.
Wesley Snipes went to jail for tax evasion. Nobody disagrees that the Blade movies are fucking awesome, right? I mean, just because a person is a huge piece of shit, that doesn't mean that they're not making fine art. Uh, Hitler was an extremely good painter. An artist. He Have you seen Hitler's paintings? They're fucking amazing. And yet he was the sole reason that millions upon millions of people ended up dead.
I like my thing is that the point of this, or the main focus of this, like, she's obviously around a lot of people that like Woody Allen. Like, there are
It's
plenty
the
of
wrong
other
group of people
male.
to be again.
Yeah, like there are plenty of people
Fucking Woody
that
Allen.
are in Hollywood that are uh an accused, like they're accused abusers, but that's accusation. There's nothing that
Exactly. Yeah.
solidified it. First off, secondly, why is it specifically Woody Allen? Like, what? Like, why is it specifically Woody Allen?
I
So
don't
stop
know.
raving about Woody Allen. That is her own personal opinion
Yeah, that's like
put into
such a
how
niche thing.
how is that going to help me in my life as a woman if people
Exactly.
stop raving about Woody Allen? Like, that
Exactly.
is so fucking specific. It's like, wow,
Fucking
you are so selfish, woman. It's like,
99%
if
of
people
these
rave about
posts.
Woody Allen to me, I'm gonna be like, cool. Like, wait, Woody Allen, no. Woody Allen, I'm trying to think of a movie that I really like that Woody Allen is in, and the first thing that popped up was Tim Allen.
No.
And I was like, he was a great voice for fucking the cowboy. It's like, oh, that's bad. But he's the guy that in that one movie, like, we quote all the time, we go, all right, all right, all, like, you know, that's Woody Allen. He's in a lot of good movies. I just can't think of any right now. But I mean, like, there's nobody that raves about Woody Allen that is a detriment to my life that if they ended up stopping would I don't care.
No, that's fucking Matthew McConaughey. What are you talking about?
Is that Matthew McConaughey? I don't even know who Woody Allen is.
That's Matthew McConaughey. Woody Allen.
I don't even know who Woody Allen is. Like, I'm pretty sure if I saw a picture, I would
Woody
know,
Allen.
but I fucking don't know who. Like,
What's
so
the fucking
point that's a great point though. Like, I don't even know who Woody Allen is. How is it
movie?
that people who rave about him, if they stop doing it, how is that going to make my life more positive? Like,
He
how is that going to affect my life if people stop raving about Woody Allen? This is a totally personal, like, this is how you make my life better, but because I'm talking about feminism, I'm going to put this underneath the guise of, Woody Allen. It's like, she could have said something like, if you are a fan of people who are abusive or are known women victimizers, don't be a fan in front of other females. Like, I don't want somebody like, I'm trying to find some or think of a famous person who I really just a Michael Vick.
Hmm.
Like, I don't want anybody talking to me about how fucking good Michael Vick is. Because as far as I am concerned, he is a shitbag. He should never have been put in the NFL again, and he should be in fucking jail. I'm sorry, but he should still be there.
Mm.
Like, oh god, like I fucking hate Michael Vick. And I know it's an old subject, and I know it's gonna bring up a lot of old ones for some people, but fuck him. Like,
I
but
don't know
like
who
that's
Michael
what I'm talking
Vick
about. Michael Vick is that asshole Viking player that had this whole ring of
is. That football?
pitbull fighting. Like, he would raise. I'm not done with the plate and the knife and all that. Yep. Um, but that's that asshole. Like, that would be like if I was making a list of
People I hate.
feminist things, like people I personally hate. Like, I would say, don't talk to me about Michael Vick.
Yeah, to me, that's the thing. Say, stop raving about Woody Allen to me. It's like that doesn't
Yeah.
help women in general. It's fucking Woody
No,
Allen.
it doesn't.
Like, who gives a shit?
Yeah.
Um, anything more to add?
Let's go ahead and bust into number 30.
Number 30. We hit a teen fucking milestone. It's General Leia, not Princess. Okay. The Doctor has a companion, not an assistant. It's Dr. Bartlett, not Mrs. Madam First Lady.
I don't know who Dr. Bartlett and or
Mm,
Mrs. Madam First Lady is,
me
but the
neither.
Doctor has always had a companion. It was never called an assistant. Like, and she's saying the Doctor, so we know that she's talking about
Doctor
Doctor
Who.
Who,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
Doctor Who has always had a companion from the beginning of time. So that part of her comment is completely null and void. It doesn't need to be there. It's non-applicable. Like,
Uh,
it's just not. And General Leah is also a princess, so that makes her a Princess General Leah, which means that she is not only a ruler of an entire planet,
I got blown
she
up, by the way.
commands the shut up. She commands an army. Like, she is
But
that much of a badass. And then she's like, let's not dignify the fact that she's a princess. Let's not dignify the fact that she's an intelligent female character who can hold political office. No, let's just say that she's a warmonger.
but she was a princess
And call
before
her
she was a
General.
general, so
Yeah, she was a princess
null and
before she
void.
was a general.
And
Yeah,
also,
like,
not to
again,
mention the fact that all of these are fucking fictional characters.
oh, like, the fact that they're fictional or non-fictional is completely, like, moot. I get the point that she's trying to get across. Like, when you're addressing females, it wouldn't, like, if you were gonna address the Queen of England, well, this still doesn't even make any sense, because you, like, if the Queen of England was called Miss Madame First Lady Dr. Bartlett Queen, of England, that is how you fucking address the Queen of England.
Yeah.
But we don't, when we say the Queen of England, we don't say Mrs. Madame First Lady Dr. Bartlett Queen of England. We just shorten it, say Queen of England. So having like the different synonyms, I feel, is absolutely null and void, because that's not really anything that can be applied in real life,
Like
realistically speaking.
I don't even know who Madame First Lady is, for fuck's sake.
I don't know either. I
I'm
didn't even know who
guessing
fucking Woody Allen was,
I'm
but
guessing like,
apparently you stopped
oh,
talking about him.
you know what this is? It's like
Hmm.
not saying First Lady fucking Melania Trump, is saying whatever her occupation is. You know what I mean?
Oh, is that what she's trying to get
I
at?
guess so. I don't know. Apparently there's a Bart that seems French to me. So apparently there was a French first lady, and she's a doctor. So don't address her with first lady, address her with doctor. I'm pretty sure fucking first lady goes above a doctor. It's the higher fucking
Yeah, why would you not want
social
to be called
standpoint.
something that you've accomplished?
It's like
Like,
if Elizabeth, Elizabeth is the queen, but she's also a doctor. Wouldn't the fucking queen of England be more important than a doctor of a general hospital?
yes.
I
Why would you not want to address, if you're pressing feminism, why would you not want to address the name that holds more power
yeah,
socially?
exactly.
It shows
Ay,
more
ay, ay, ay,
prestige.
ay, 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 ay. Ah, look at this. We're back. We are back. Cast women in parts written for men. We know how to rule kingdoms, go to war, be, not be, and wait for Godot. I think the Ghostbusters movie speaks
Yeah,
volumes about this point,
yeah.
and nobody is disagreeing that fucking women can rule kingdoms.
Yeah, nobody's saying that they can't. I
Fucking
mean,
Marie Antoinette. I mean, what the fuck?
yeah.
That's I don't agree with cast women in parts written for men. Why? They are written solely for men. It's the same cast men for parts written for women. It doesn't make any sense.
Hmm.
They're cast to.
Again, she's pressing feminism but doesn't want equality.
Uh,
And that's what feminism is it's supposed to represent equality. She should be supporting men cast for men parts and females cast for female parts. Like,
Full stop. There's nothing more to say
yeah,
about that. Pay for
I
porn.
I do.
I. Why?
Well, I mean, I have.
Is she implying that you know to like pay women in porn salaries? Like I don't think she understands that they don't get a percentage of per clip sold on fucking browsers. They get
I
paid for their scene. And that's it.
Yeah.
You don't have if you go to Pornhub, you're not fucking denying them money. They have shitloads of money, believe it or not. They are being well compensated for their work.
Yeah.
So pay for porn. Fuck you. No. Uh, Recognize that sex work is work. Be an advocate for and ally to sex workers without speaking for them. But you just spoke for them. You just said pay for porn.
Yeah.
Is that not speaking for sex work? Also, call them sex workers. It's like whenever you hear the term sex worker, you immediately jump to like fucking China, and like
Yeah.
crusty old room when they're being fucking raped all day. That's what a sex worker to me is. Sex
Yeah.
worker, prostitutes. Recognize sex work is work. So prostitutes are being employed. They have employers. So it's not pimps. It's employers now. And without speaking for them, well, how can you do know the definition of an advocate? What a definition of an advocate is, right? A lawyer,
Yeah.
somebody to speak for you when you cannot find the proper words to speak for yourself. You can defend yourself in court if you have the know-how, but when you don't, you find a professional. That's what an advocate is. And you were being an advocate for saying pay for porn. See
Yeah,
the see the see how it doesn't add up?
I do.
Pay for porn, but don't be tell them what it is without telling them what it is.
Like,
Mind meld.
why wouldn't people recognize that sex work is work? Like, saying sex work, I'm going to assume that she's
Porn.
talking about females that are in pornography.
Yeah, yes.
Like, people recognize that that is work. People understand that you are an entertainer. People understand that you are an actor. Like,
Nobody is
people
denying that.
understand that. And it's like,
Yeah.
be an advocate for it, an ally for sex workers without speaking for them. I'm sorry, but if I was an active pornography artist, and I would want people to, you know,
Spread the
support
word.
me. Yeah, but I I would also want them to back me. I would want them to speak for me.
Yeah.
Like, especially if I wasn't able to be there. It's like, yes, my occupation is definitely a viable source of income. It is something that is, you know, essential for today's day and age. Really, like,
Yeah.
it's the band-aid for bad relationships. in the stereotypical like vanilla setting, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That's when the wife, the stingy wife, gets mad at the normal, sexually active on a normal level male husband, and she catches him watching porn, and then all of a sudden they need to go to couples
Therapy.
counseling
Yeah,
rather
yeah.
than him be like, hey, this is kind of hot, and they share it, and then their sex life increases and it's better.
I don't know. I don't practice pornography. I get all my sexy time needs from my girlfriend. Uh, but it's not that I, you know, don't recognize it. I mean, nobody denies that fucking, Gianna Michaels is a porn actress. She's not a porn worker. You don't say it like that. Fucking, I don't know. This is such a stupid, stupid, stupid point that is being completely contradicted by the point above that. Literally,
Yeah.
she couldn't even wait like two posts down, so you kind of forget what she said back then.
Yeah.
So you can kind of go, oh, okay, fine, sure, I won't speak for them. But then you go, oh wait, pay for porn? What are you, fucking retarded? Let's go down. So we went so porn and then politics. So it's basically Game of Thrones at this point.
All right. Yeah, I'm down for some War of the Roses. Let's do this.
Share political hot takes from women as well as men. They might not be as widely accessible, so look for them. So not only am I supposed to share their opinions, I'm supposed to actively look for them. As far as I know, women don't tend to meddle in politics as much as men do. It's just statistically speaking. It's
Yeah,
nothing
statistically
sexist.
speaking.
Nothing sexist. It's just statistics. Nothing against one gender or the other. Just statistically speaking, women in politics are not in nearly the same numbers as men in politics,
Mhm.
but share political hot takes from women as well as men. I completely agree. Again,
Yeah.
this is a non-issue. Nobody is not sharing a political hot take from a woman just because she's a woman.
Okay, so here's the thing. She does say share political hot takes. So if the hot take is good enough to be something that is recognized, why would they have, like, you might have to look for something that is really specific.
Mm.
I mean, I feel like when she says they might not be as widely accessible, I feel like she's demeaning the value that she's trying to put into female political quips, or whatever you want to call that.
Mm-hmm.
Like the political hot takes. So like when she says that they might not be as widely accessible, bullshit. If they're really good, they're going to be just as accessible.
Yeah. I agree.
I mean, there was nothing that Hillary didn't say that I didn't know. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, sadly,
and
yes.
like when Hillary cried, like that wasn't even really a quote unquote hot take, and like I thought that was something that was amazing that they ended up broadcasting because it showed compassion and it showed a strong feminine power, in action. Because and I say feminine power because crying is not necessarily seen as something masculine, or showing that kind of tender emotion.
Hmm.
When somebody when Hillary found somebody in the crowd that felt like Hillary felt like they genuinely cared about her personal well-being, because they were like, "Hey, Hillary, how are you doing?"
But you
And then
can't deny that.
when she found out that somebody that they cared, she cried, and that was fantastic. And that wasn't even a hot take, and that was everywhere, and that was a beautiful thing. So when she says they might not be widely accessible, I feel like she's demeaning women, because if it's good, it's going to be just as accessible.
But do you want Hillary Clinton fucking at such high power? I don't know. I don't think she's
I mean,
better than Trump.
yes.
But I
Yes.
don't think Hillary is all or there. I think that she's just a couple cocoa puffs away from a straitjacket.
Well, I mean, to be completely fair about this, we all know that we got cheated out of Bernie Sanders.
Yeah.
Like, we all know that we did, and if we had him, life would be so much better for everybody on a global level. You wouldn't even understand.
Yeah.
Like, America would become the hotspot for everybody to come to, because we would be amazing. But no, we
Because
had to.
Bernie Sanders and his son, Bernie Sanders, at a picnic having fun. What will they do next? I don't know. I mean, I have a. I mean, we have a woman president. She's fucking insane. So.
I would much rather, I prefer your president, because at least she recognizes the fact that dinosaurs existed.
And
And
the people rode
even
them.
though even though Jesus wrote on them, in her opinion,
Yep.
they still exist.
Uh,
Like, I can back somebody on a platform if they believe in dinosaurs.
oh, by the way, not now that we're on that particular point, I did not in the World Cup football that happened now. Uh,
Congratulations.
for what? For me sitting at home not watching any games? Yeah, sure, thanks. I sure did a lot to fucking help them out get second place. Um,
Wait, I thought they won
the
first. I know they
no,
beat England.
no, they got second.
Oh, I thought that. Well, I know they beat England.
Yeah,
That's all. That's the game that I cared about. I had a
yeah,
bet
they
writing on that game.
ah um uh the a lot of the internet, and by a lot I mean everybody on the internet, she has these pictures of her on the beach in like the bikini, and everybody on the internet commented on how hot the president of Croatia is. I have not seen a single feminist, not a single one, in
Stand
outrage
up for her.
and stand up for her. Yeah,
Why would they?
because they do not give
She's
a
a
shit
woman
about
in
anything that
power.
is not fucking white America.
Okay, yeah, that's true too.
So the president of Croatia for being sexually objectified. Fuck all the women everywhere. No, I want my fucking Starbucks ass to keep getting Starbucks and not being objectified by it. Excellent. What a great fucking world we live in.
Hmm.
Oh yeah,
Again,
yeah.
like, and these are supposed to that are supposed to be making females' lives better, right?
Mm.
Like, yeah, and like not really any one of these. Like, share political hot takes from women as well as men. Okay, that's great, but how is that going to? How does that make my life better?
It doesn't.
How does paying for porn make my life better? How does recognizing sex work make my life better?
What I
How does and this is from a woman's standpoint. And yeah, sure, recognizing somebody's profession as a profession. Okay, yeah, that one I can understand. Like especially actually, yeah, going back to that one, recognizing a profession as a profession. Yes, because I am a licensed massage therapist. I am not a masseuse. I am not a masseur. I am a licensed massage therapist. I get paid to touch naked people's bodies and to heal them. I do not get paid to give you hand jobs.
mm,
So, people recognizing my work as actual work in a medical field, yes, absolutely 100% yes. I want that. I don't want people to be like, her handies. It's like, yeah, you know what, motherfucker? Every single one of my massages is a happy ending because everybody who ends up on my table ends up happy. Like, and guess what? I don't have to touch your penis for it. Yay! But, you know,
uh,
yes. But
I
she shouldn't say recognize that sex work is work. She should say that despite the work that women do, recognize what they do as a profession.
yeah, I agree with that point. What I think that this modern day feminism is all about is that they think that there's going to be a chain reaction of if one woman helps another woman in whatever problem that they're having, whatever minute fucking minuscule problem there is, that that woman is going to go on to help another one, another one, another one, another one. Uh,
Hmm.
if you help a porn actress in saying you are a porn actress, you are not a whore,
Hmm.
I can guarantee you 100% that she will not give a flying fuck because she already knows that. It's not a chain reaction. It's not a bet it's social media, it's the internet, it's Twitter and Tumblr. You are not doing anything for the benefit of womankind, especially
Hmm.
not to those who need help, who cannot ask for help because if they do, they're going to get killed. They're going to die if they cry
Yeah.
out. What these people are doing is they're crying wolf nonstop. But the problem is the wolf does not exist.
Well, I wouldn't say the wolf does, like, this particular wolf,
Exactly. See,
like,
this
doesn't
particular
doesn't
wolf. That
exist.
means that there are multiple wolves. When there shouldn't be multiple wolves. There should be only two wolves. One that kill women and one that kill men. They're not. They're not supposed to be a wolf. This is a wolf for menstrual pain. If you don't understand it, he's gonna eat your face off. And because you don't understand it, he's fucking pissed and hungry. No, it blows my mind on so many different levels that I cannot comprehend. You know, when you talk to someone that is so delusional,
Yeah.
and then you just when you hear their side of the story, when you see how they think and what they think, you go like, wow, how are you still alive at this point? How 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 did your brain not melt? You know,
I don't
because
know.
when a machine stops working properly, you fix it or you throw it in the garbage and make a new one. I wish that was that easy with people. I swear to God. Oh my goodness, man. Let's just move on before
Yeah. I
uh
don't understand 35.
understand that it was never about ethics in journalism. If anything, journalists
Being equal?
can be completely non-ethical and absolutely biased. So, can we just skip this one? Because I don't understand what she's.
Yeah, I don't understand what she's saying either, but, again, I guess this is something that, if everybody applied in everyday practice, it would help benefit women.
Yeah.
So maybe ethics in journalism, like the reason why she's writing so strongly about feminism is the ethics of it.
Mm-hmm. Like, can't be
Like,
criticized
understand that it
for
was
it.
never about the ethics in journalism. It's like,
So it's
really,
never about
this
the
list is
ethics of this point.
exhausting.
Yeah, it is. So basically, what 35 says is that it's not about ethics in this post. It's about I'm being oppressed, and you are
But
the oppressor. So shut the
this
fuck
whole
up.
thing is supposed to be about ethics and being fair and feminism. Like, yes, this should be about ethics.
It's like
Like,
contradicting a contradictory statement. Does that make it a non-contradictory statement? Because I don't know. It's
I thought a negative only. I thought a double negative was only a positive in
so
certain
it's
forms of speech and math.
so it's contradicting a double contradiction. Basically, is what this post boils down to.
So let's
I
go on to 36.
Yes, 36. Hello. What where is that? Speak less in meetings today to make space. Well, hold on. Am I reading this wrong? Speak less in meetings today. So not tomorrow. Tomorrow you can be your old fucking
Yep, only today.
oppressing male bastard. But today,
Yep.
nah. March 8th, bruh. Speak less in meetings today to make space for your women colleagues to share their thoughts. If you're leading the meeting, make sure women are being heard as much as men. Um, I am 100% positive that in any respectable company, there's equal
Would already
speaking
do
time.
that.
Equal
Yeah.
speaking time in any respectable company, not your fucking third world iPhone making sweatshop. Okay, we're talking about companies that are actually known for being companies. So I don't. This again doesn't happen. If a woman makes a good point, say that was a good point. Don't repeat her point and take credit for it. We have been doing this for nearly 3 hours. Every time that you made a good point, what did I say?
That was a good point.
Did I repeat your point and say me? I said the point. No.
No.
That again. I don't
Some
know.
people, like, I will say, and again, like, the man that would be reading this would not be the one who would practice this behavior, because I have seen this. Like, if a woman makes a good point, say that was a good point, don't repeat her and take credit for it. I've actually had that happen where I said something and it was only heard by like one or two people, but then a dude said it and then he took credit for it, and I got pissed. But I didn't get pissed because it was a dude. I got pissed because he just
Someone
took
else
the
took
credit
it.
for what I said.
Mhm.
It's like, that was my fucking idea.
But once again, this is not like a female problem. This is a people problem.
Yeah, this is a people problem.
I had that happen to me. We would be like out or somewhere where it's crowded, and I would tell a joke, and my friend would hear the joke, and he would repeat the joke, and everybody would fucking laugh and think he was a comedy genius.
Yeah.
That's not. God damn it.
That's a people problem, not a female problem.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see. Promote women. Their leadership styles may be different than yours. That's probably a good thing. No. Always being different is not a good thing. If you have 3 knives, and two of those knives have a steel blade and a wooden grip, and one knife has a steel grip and a wooden blade. Is that a good thing? No, because you're gonna cut yourself whenever you try to hold it. So being different is not always useful. In
That's true.
my opinion. So yes, promote women by all means. I don't think
If
the
their leadership styles are viable and you agree with what they are standing for, promote the politician,
yes.
whether it be man or female.
I
You know,
like
male or female.
I,
Promote the politician if their leadership style is something that you can get behind and you believe in. This is a people problem again, not necessarily a woman problem or a man problem.
yeah. And I like the wording. That's probably a good thing. Probably.
That's like, I get, like, this list is so overbearing because of all of the little, like, barbs that she throws in at the end of
Mm-hmm.
these sentences. It's like, that's probably a good thing. It's like,
Oh my
holy
God.
shit.
Yeah.
Like, I would feel so bad if I was a guy reading this. I would be like, oh my god.
You know what this does? It's a very dangerous thing, because young women and young men are being affected by this, because young women are being led to believe that this is all expected of men, and then they feel the men feel bad. Like
Hmm.
I didn't do any of these things, and I feel bad. I feel like I should be punished, but I haven't done anything. I haven't done anything wrong according to this list. Not so far. Maybe I've done something. Uh, I see down there it says make a round of tea for the office. I never done a round of tea for the office. That's apparently a bad thing that I've done. But for all of these, I feel like I've done something bad. I feel like I've been
Yeah.
oppressing this poor woman. I never even met her.
Yeah.
You know, it's it's
That's what I'm saying. Like, this list has a lot of personal flair in it that I can't really, like, again, some of this is so specific. Like, the person that
Oop,
she was scorned by must have been awful.
yeah,
I mean, if I made 50 things that I'm going to bitch about that my first ex-husband did, then yeah, like that's going to be a list that turns out like this. But
mm,
if I'm like, hey, these are some things that you might be able to do for the women in your life that will make their life better.
better, yeah.
And you know what? How about, and I actually did this one with my brother because we were talking and he was like, "Oh, my girlfriend is still in bed because she's starting her period and she's getting all crampy and stuff and she doesn't want to play right now." And I was like, "Matthew, this is what you need to do. You are an amazing man and you have a huge heart. And this is what you are going to do to gain brownie points with her because I know that if you knew to do this, you would do it." And so I told him it's like what he needs to do is microwave some rice in a sock and get her some like warm pads and some ice that she can like use to cool herself off with and make sure that she's like laying down on her belly so the pressure from her body on the pad and the heat is going to help alleviate the cramping. And I mean, like, he didn't know what to do, but once he learned what to do, he did it.
I think uh, I think my girlfriend would castrate me for what the fuck are you doing wasting rice, you idiot. But yeah, it's I get your point. It's I'm sorry. That was a good point. Um, but it's again, it's different. It's different for to relieve pain in different people. But
Yeah, but I'm saying
I get
like
what you're saying.
that would be a part that would be something that I would put in this list. Like the small things that people just are not aware of.
Yeah, I
You
agree.
know, like
The list should be that like when your lady tells you that she's having menstrual pain, listen to what she wants and then do it because hormones and periods and they are fucked up and it's terrible and they're in pain. Help them.
yeah.
Absolutely. Number one. Number two, it's this fucking same thing. You know what I mean? It's not fucking. Oh, stop talking about Woody Allen. Fuck off, will you? Yeah. Can we move on?
Yeah. What is let's see. We're at
39.
what, 39? Oh my
You can
gosh.
you can do this one. You have the stage.
Recruit women on the same salary as men even if they don't. Again, I don't think this is something that's necessarily viable because an intern is going to be paid like an intern. A
Hmm,
2-year employee is going to be paid like a 2-year employee. A 2-year employee that is exemplary is going to be paid like a 2-year employee that is exemplary if the company recognizes the work that the
exactly.
people do. This has nothing to do with gender.
Hmm.
So, like, even if they don't ask, again, another barb, recruit women on the same salary as men, yeah, that's kind of the standard for the industry nowadays.
Yeah, has been for nearly a century.
Like, and if for whatever reason there is not, like, if that is not the standard, then you don't work for that company. You do research. Like, as, and this is me, a career, like, I have a career. I'm not going to work, and I actually turned down working at the Marriott. Like, on Marco Island, I turned that job down, um, because of their practices, and I did not feel like they were going to be fair. So I didn't work there. I did my research, and I was like, I'm not going to work at this company, and like, your career should be something that you hold dear to your heart. Like, that's what's doing. How you? Why would you just jump into the first job that, you know, takes your bait?
Mm-hmm.
You have a career. You have that time to where you're like, okay, this is a Fortune 500 company, and I did some research. I see that a lot of actual, like, males are complaining about working for this company because of how they're treated, and I'm not really seeing any complaints from the females. I wonder why that is, or vice versa. It's like, I'm a female and I see that a lot of females are complaining about this place of work, and I'm not really seeing a lot of males complain about it. You know what? I don't want to work there.
Mm-hmm.
So don't put yourself in a position where you're going to be demeaned in the first place.
Also, I think that this is a very dangerous thing to be teaching young women. It's basically you're teaching them expectance. You're teaching them expect to have everything handed to you on a silver platter without asking for it. Uh,
I'm actually
why?
going to contradict you on that one. This is teaching women and girls that they are going to be automatically a lesser person, and they need to fight for every fucking inch.
No, because
They're
she said even if they don't ask for it. Like so what happens is that you have to you have to say that okay, I don't have to ask for a raise. I just have to expect to get one because why not?
no, it's not saying a raise. It's ask or pay them the same
Yeah,
rate that you
but
would pay a man.
I get that. I was just taking like a step forward in like the future of the sentence.
Oh, okay.
So that I was men have a tendency more to ask for a raise, to go up to their boss and muster the courage and go, listen, I've been doing overtime, double overtime, triple overtime. Can I get something more for it? Women don't tend to do that as much, according to a
True.
lot of studies. So ask for shit. Don't just be quiet. Not just
Yeah.
salary, not just job. Ask for stuff. If you want something, ask for it. If you don't, if they somebody says no, then fuck it, fight for it, idiot.
Yeah.
God damn it.
I mean, if you're like, if you realize that, you know, if you and some other dude end up doing the same amount of work and you're in the same business, and everything is the same, and then for whatever reason you find out that he got a raise and you guys have been doing the same shit, talk to your boss. It's like, hey, I heard that so and so got a raise. I've been doing the same shit. Why didn't I get one? And you're absolutely right. Women don't step up. Like, we are conditioned to just take it. And
Exactly what I was
like,
saying. Ah ha ha! Very nice. That's a good one. That's good.
but I mean,
Wow.
like,
Yeah.
really, like,
Social engineering, huh?
yeah, social engineering. We're just designed to take it.
Yeah. There you go. But that's a good fucking thing to put on a T-shirt. Women, we're designed to just take it.
Yeah. And
If you can take
we're
a dick, you can take a joke. Relax.
not. Oh, I want to say stuff, but I'm not gonna say stuff because that stuff is bad.
No, but yeah, I agree with all the points that you made, and I agree. I think that this is just encouraging very 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 bad behavior. All of these not all, but most 90% of them are encouraging very bad behavior in women and men.
Yeah.
Open doors for women with caring responsibilities by offering flexible employment contracts.
Don't they do that already?
They do.
Okay.
Let's
Moving
move
on.
on. If you meet, yes, it's completely ridiculous. If you meet a man and a woman at work, do not assume the man is the superior for literally no reason.
Okay,
Literally
that
nobody does.
it depends on the culture. Like, okay, this one I can kind of get behind because sometimes in different cultures, women are just automatically subservient. Like I was saying before, when women don't speak up for that raise, it's because we're conditioned to do so.
To just
Like
take it.
I know, yeah, I know a good place is India. Like I know that they're working on it, but there's still a huge caste system. There is still a huge divide between males and females will automatically go into that more submissive role because that's just what we've been conditioned to do in that particular culture. Now, I can get behind this and say you need to start seeing them not as somebody who's superior to you, but somebody who is your equal. Like,
Sure, but then again, it applies both ways. Maybe not in the same volume, but it does. For example, take modeling. If you
yeah,
take the
a
line of
male.
modeling, you would automatically assume that the woman is a superior force in that workplace, which they are. They get paid more, like fucking 60% more than a male
Mhm.
model does.
Mhm.
It's a completely female dominated business, and that's fine. That's perfectly fine. But again, there's a double standard here. Men are equally, well, not equally, but also in numbers being the inferior when it comes to a certain line of work.
Yeah, like I can understand, especially in the modeling. A man should not look at a woman as superior for literally no reason. I mean,
Yeah.
if they end up being better at the job, then yeah, you can look up to them, but they're not anybody that is superior,
Yeah.
and
Mm.
yeah, you honestly shouldn't look as anybody as superior
Right.
than you are. Like, even though like my manager, I love her to fucking death. I understand that she's my manager, and at the drop of a hat, if she really wanted to, she could fire me.
Right.
But I don't see her as somebody superior. I can talk to her as an equal. I can come to her with my frustrations as a professional and know that she's going to receive it as a professional and on my level, and she's going to listen. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Like, I don't see her as a superior to me. I'm not, I just don't. I see her as an equal who has more power politically in my workplace than I do.
Mm. Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying, though.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
she's
Yeah.
an
Yeah.
equal. I can talk to her and bullshit with her if I want to.
It's like I think it goes to the point where you have to be very careful with your words. Uh, people can no, not for that reason.
No, my
Uh,
my manager isn't gonna walk by and I'm not gonna be like, oh, like this.
no, no, no. What I'm saying is that you can use the word superior without being without demeaning somebody else's work. For example,
Yeah,
if you, I don't know, take a sport. If you're playing football, there are people that are superior to you. There are people that are better at the sport than you are. There are people that are better at a line of work that you are. That doesn't mean that they're superior to you as a human being. A man can be superior to a woman in anything as a woman can be superior to a man in anything. It's not people, it's the line of work or what they do. So you have to
right.
be careful by how you word your sentences.
Mhm.
Now, the meaning of life, number 42.
What?
If yeah, it's 42, meaning of life. Uh
Oh,
if you're wrongly assumed to be more experienced than a woman colleague, correct that person and pass the platform to the woman who knows more. Um a scenario.
Why? Like,
You,
okay, like here we go. Here's a good one. Like, why would you do that?
eh,
If I was a man and there was somebody who was more like if there was somebody who had more experience than I did, and especially like if this was a sales situation, I'm not going to give my client to somebody who is, definitely going to end up taking them. Actually, hold on. That was a bad example. A
no, no,
good
no, no, no.
example,
It
a
was a good,
better
it was a perfect example because I was about to say something very similar. If you and like I'm a man and I work with a woman, we are she's more experienced than I am in my line of work, and the
mhm.
boss walks up to me. Doesn't matter what gender the boss is. He's fucking Mickey Mouse, right? Doesn't exist. And he walks up to me and he says, "Listen, you get a promotion, but she is way more experienced than I am. She's way smarter than I am, and we are at the exact same level in the company. I am definitely not gonna fucking complain. And I bet you my fucking left nut that if the gender roles were reversed, she would not complain and she would not say, "Oh, but Josh over here is way more qualified than me." No fucking chance in hell that's gonna happen. Unless you are
No.
super duper friends, besties, not happening. Not in a million fucking years. You work to fucking get paid. The more money, the
Yeah.
better. Simple as that.
And
I don't work to make friends, I
here's
work to get paid.
this is actually fairly this is a good example of my line of work actually because um like I know that I have a couple of really good years of massage therapy underneath my belt. But if I know that I'm not going to be around, and me being a female, I have to actually gauge my hand not with some of the other females, but the work that I do.
Mm-hmm.
And the work that I do is mimicked in more often than not in the males that work in my workplace. Like the tensile strength of my hands, the therapeutic approach that I have. I'm not saying that, none of the females in my workplace do that because I know that they do.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just saying like overall, like if I have a client and this client is my regular, yes, I want to keep my regular, but if I know that I'm going to be gone, I don't want them to come to the spa and have an awful experience.
Mm-hmm.
I want them to come to the spa and get something equal or better than what I can normally give. Hopefully equal or not as great. That way they keep coming back to me. But
Mm-hmm.
like I'm not going to cheat that person. So if somebody comes to me and they like my deep tissue and I know that there's a woman at my work who is fabulous with deep tissue. Like I know I'm good and I can brag about my skill, but I know that I am nowhere near as good as she is. Like nowhere near as good as she is. And she is just so rock solid with it. And uh there's some other clients that I have that require a little bit more of a lighter touch with a little bit more finesse to their work. And there are clients that are just looking for a right particular type of pressure. And I know that I always send them to another particular male client.
Mm.
Like it's either one of those two or maybe even three other therapists that I refer out my regular clients to, and it doesn't matter like one is actually trans. One is trans, one is male, and one is female. Like I covered the gamut there.
Uh-huh.
like and I want the client to have the best experience that they can be. So I'm not going to you know, give that client away to somebody who is a female just because they're a female.
Right, 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 right.
And that's what she's asking this is where she's asking it
Mm-hmm.
to go, and that's wrong.
Yep. uh, uh, these two I don't understand. Make a round of tea for the office. What's your political hot take on that?
I think they've been watching too much Agretsuko. Uh and
Oh God.
they need to understand that that's a cartoon. And even though, like, in a workplace over in Japan, it might be a little bit more traditional for a female to do that, but, I'm pretty sure that in this day and age, a lot of people, both male and female, make rounds of tea for the office. And equally so, the dishes. I'm pretty sure a lot of everybody fucking does their own dishes. And the people who don't are
How
slobs, and
how
that's
is
both male
this?
and female.
How is me making a round of tea for the office for the betterment of women in the world?
I don't,
That's
I don't know.
I don't know. Wash it up. What? My dick and balls?
The dishes, I guess.
I have no clue.
Or I mean, I would
Uh,
appreciate it. Like if a dude like was super dirty and he was kind of grody down there, and like we were about to get hot and heavy, but then I was like, whoa, that like go take a shower. Sure. Like
um. eh,
everybody appreciates some cleanliness out every now and then.
yeah. Personal hygiene. Fucking imagine that. What a new thing. What a new fucking concept, right? Um, if you find you're only interviewing men for a role, rewrite the job listing that it's more welcoming to women. Uh,
What does she mean by that?
uh,
What would make it more welcoming to all women? I mean,
eh,
if it's a profession, it's a fucking profession, and women shouldn't have to be written to like women shouldn't have to be tailored to,
so if
especially if they're looking for equality. Like I see absolutely, and this is my profession is a very feminine profession,
mm-hmm,
and it is very female heavy. You will succeed in my profession if you are a female.
mm-hmm,
The only way that you will not succeed is if you do not do the work and you do not like if you seriously fuck up, you will fail. But if you fuck up a little bit, you're still gonna succeed.
mm-hmm,
That's just the nature of the beast when it comes to my uh profession. And never have I ever felt like my job was targeted to me. And if it was targeted to me as a female, I would actually be kind of pissed because I fight for equality in my workplace. I mean, I think that, you know, massages should be enjoyed by everybody. I mean, people shouldn't look to either gender as being superior because it, like, every therapist is different. All of the techniques are going to be different. I mean, you can't do that. Rewrite job listings so that it's more welcoming to women. How do you expect to do that? Especially because not all of the women like to be the same woman. Every woman likes to be an individual and unique. So just because this person wants to be like all of the other girls out there, quote unquote, doesn't mean that I want to be. Like, this does not resonate with me. I do not understand why I would need to be specifically targeted for my job.
mm-hmm.
I want people to know that I am just as competent as a dude is.
Um, I also would like to add that some jobs are just a male-oriented profession. For example, construction work. I don't see many women in construction. Like not architecture and when actually sit in the office and uh,
Yeah,
design
you
stuff.
don't really you don't see a lot, like when you imagine the person behind a jackhammer, it's a man.
Yeah.
It's not a woman.
So the when huge fucking skyscrapers are being built, and then you see all those old photos when the men are eating lunch at like fucking a million feet in the air, and they're dangling off of a beam, right? So
Yeah.
how do you rewrite that job listing so that it's more welcoming to women? What do you have to do so that that death-defying profession is going to be more welcoming to a woman? You can't.
Uh
It's literally
Reach
in the job
more
description.
height?
You might die. .com. You know what I mean? Come on. I'm
Yeah,
I'm
and you're absolutely right. There are some jobs that you just can't really write to become more appealing to women. I mean,
No.
and again, like the job should be listed to be appealing to everybody, not just one gender over the other.
Also, some jobs are just unappealing to everybody, but
Yeah, like nobody
men.
wants to shovel shit.
Exactly. Tell me, tell me one thing. In your life, how many female garbage collectors have you seen? Like riding on the back of those garbage trucks. How many females have you seen on the back of garbage trucks collecting your garbage? Not I would
I'm gonna
imagine
be
not.
honest. I don't think I've ever seen any.
Exactly my point. So how do you rewrite that job to be more welcoming to women?
Um,
I don't think you can. It's
I
shoveling
don't.
shit. It's picking up somebody else's garbage. I don't that's
Mhm.
just unappealing a job period. So sure, I can see some sort of point here. If you're an extremely sexist company, then yes, but most of them aren't. So again, it can go both ways. There are companies that are exclusively hiring women. How do you make
Mhm.
those appeal to men? You don't, because it's appealing to women. Some jobs are just appealing to men. You know, more than 50% of construction workers actually like that because it makes them feel powerful, wielding massive fucking machinery. You know,
Mhm.
there are not a lot of women that are, like to handle massive machinery.
Yeah.
That's just
But there are women that do, and there's no
exactly.
way that you could tailor that job. Like, come paint nails. Okay, that's going to appeal to more females than males, like you were saying. Like, there are going to be jobs that are more appealing to the feminine, and then there are going to be jobs that are more appealing to the masculine.
Exactly.
It doesn't matter how you write it. The job should be written like if you do come across like this is another thing that you should have just said. If you do come across a job listing that is specifically tailored to your femininity or it is trying to hook you because or it's trying to use a feminine hook to attract you to it, avoid it because it
Hmm.
is, you know,
Just trying to
it is
appeal to that.
to you. Yeah,
Yeah,
and it's not being fair and it's not being equal.
I agree. I agree. Mm. Um, Make sure you have women on your interview panel. Uh, how about make sure you have qualified people, people that are qualified to interview other people. I don't think being a woman inherently, or being a man inherently makes. There are all women panels, there are all men panels, there are black panels, white panels, yellow panels. I don't. Who is the most qualified to judge another person
Should be on a
should be on
panel.
a
It
panel.
shouldn't. Again,
Yeah,
this is a people thing, not a
yeah.
woman thing.
So I guess that's that. There's nothing more that we can say about that one. Tell female colleagues what your salary is. No,
No.
no. Don't tell anybody what your salary is. Nobody should give a shit. Nobody has to give a shit. Why? That's another one. Weird. Very fucking weird.
Yeah, tell female colleagues what your salary is.
Why?
Why would I do that? That is super personal information.
Yeah, exactly. Tell female colleagues what your fucking social security number is while you're at it. Why not? Give them an axe. Tell them what your address is. Tell them
Yeah.
at which hours you're not gonna be at the house. By all means. Weird. Fucking weird. Um, Make sure there's childcare at your events.
Okay. As
Uh,
I want to say no to that one because what if like obviously I think she's talking or she's targeting people who own businesses
mm-hmm.
who host events. I'm sorry, but if I want to host a Christmas event, I don't want kids running around. It is there to be a business, like a formal business party or event.
Yep.
Like that is childcare, that's your own problem.
Mm-hmm.
I am hosting something specifically for you.
For you, yeah.
You have enough time, like you will have enough time to organize your life to get childcare on your own time, because this is an event. This isn't something that you are scheduled to come to. This isn't something that you are paid to come to.
Hmm.
This is a social gathering that is meant to further a point or introduce something or just make stronger bonds between your coworkers or do something fun for your employees. Again, this isn't like, no, you don't have to make sure that you have childcare at your events,
Also,
especially if it's like if you having a company barbecue in the middle of the day on a weekend, yeah, sure. If you say invite all of your family, kids included, then yes,
hmm,
make sure that there is some childcare at your event, just in case, you know. But at the same time, it's like people need to understand, and there are single fathers out there too. So again, this is a people thing,
and
not a feminine thing.
one more thing that I absolutely agree with everything you just said. I would just like to add that um, I don't think I've ever heard. I think the when you get invited to a company event, I think your first thought would be, I finally get to get some off time from the kids.
Right?
You don't want to take them to a Christmas party that's been thrown at the office or by the
Yeah.
office. First of all,
And
they're gonna be bored out of their fucking tiny minds. Cause
yeah.
what are they gonna do? It's not like every single employee has a kid that they can hang out with. It's usually like three people that have kids in like a 20 to even 30 people event,
Yeah.
and you want
And
to
all
leave
of
your
those kids are
kids.
different ages.
Exactly, and you usually want to leave your kid at home with either babysitter or another relative to take care of them, because you want that night for yourself. You want to dress up, you want to drink a little bit, maybe do something a little bit crazy, some a little bit science, a little bit crazy. You know,
Huh?
that was a iDubbbz reference, but a little bit science, a little bit crazy. But no, you want to forget that. You want to do that for yourself. You want to enjoy yourself, not worry. Oh my God, is my kid okay? Don't eat that, sweetie. No, that has nuts in it. You swell up. You don't want to do that.
Yeah.
You want to
Oh,
enjoy
your
yourself.
oh, for a second your mic just like went super quiet and I was like, "Oh crap."
Uh,
But yeah, you're absolutely right. And this is like if you and I worked for a company and we had a coworker that had a kid, and they're our friends, right?
mm-hmm.
And they can be our friends all they want. If I go to their house, I am in there to deal with their child. But if they end up bringing their child to somewhere where I am hanging out at, and I know that their child is a screaming, tantrumy mess, I'm
Uh,
sorry, but no, get the fuck out. It's like
yeah, that's another.
GTFO with your spawn.
Exactly.
Like,
That's
I
another
did
good
not come
point.
here to listen to your child. I
Yeah.
did not come here to listen to you bitch to your child because your child's being a dick. Like, I did not come here for that. If I wanted to do
Mm.
that, I would go to fucking Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah,
Like,
that's another very good point. There are other people there that might not like children.
yeah.
It's not that's not wrong. That's not
And
wrong.
some of those people are female.
Eh?
So again,
Exactly. I've met a lot
it's
of females in my life that just fucking hate kids and never want to have kids. That's not wrong. It's your fucking life decision. Who am I to judge you? Say you have to have a kid? No. You are perfectly in your means to hate children. That's fine to say without making you a bad person. It's
right.
You can say I hate cats, I hate dogs, I hate children. That's fine. That doesn't make you less of a person. That's your thing. That's yeah, that's that. That's basically it. Oi. Oh, and there's another one with kids. Don't schedule breakfast meeting during the school run.
I'm sorry, but my business does not run around your life. Your life runs around my business when you are employed
Yeah,
by me.
yeah, that's yeah.
Like
You
if
you
I
you
if
have the
I If it
might
is
come this one.
most convenient for me to schedule a meeting in the morning when you are supposed to be there anyways, what
Fuck
time
you,
does it?
right?
Yeah, like and again, like if I had a kid and my boss was like, "Hey, we're having a meeting at 8 o'clock in the morning," and I'm like, "But I have to go get my kid to school." Like I would start thinking about that. It's like, you know what? I'm gonna take my kid to school early, or I'm gonna call around my friends because they have kids too, or I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna see if there's like I'm going to do something that will facilitate getting my kid to school on time, as well as meeting my work schedule. And it's not that my boss is being a sexist prick for scheduling it during the quote unquote school run, which could
Mm-hmm.
literally last anywhere from 6:30 in the morning to 10:30 in the late morning.
Right.
So, and that is actual prime time. Like if you wanted to have a good breakfast, like if I was a boss and the only time that I knew I could get all of my employees at the same spot at one time, I would schedule it for the most prime time available for me to do that. And if that was during the school run, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But you're either going to end up missing the meeting, and that is on you, and you will be scolded for it, or you're going to adjust. And it's really easy to adjust.
It's like it's like what this is saying is like having kids is a norm, and by law you are fucking required. But how about this? What if you have uh, two people that have their own kids, but they go to different schools, or school starts at different hours? For example, one goes to private school where school starts at 9, and the other one goes to school that school starts at 8. What
Yeah,
then?
see, that's what I'm
Who do
saying.
you cater to then?
The person does it like that's what I'm saying. Like you can't say don't schedule breakfast meetings during school runs because like I said before, it starts at 6:30 and it ends at 10:30.
Yeah.
Like that's the morning school run. Like uh
Yeah.
they again, this is something that this person has personally experienced that she's miffed about. Apparently,
I
she had a boss in her life that continuously said, even after her pleas of saying, "Do not do this," continued to do it, and then she felt a need to stick this in her list. This technically does not need to be there.
I have a feeling that this person does not have any children. That's
Why do
just
you say that?
because I don't think that any man was stupid enough to breed with this woman.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
don't, how do you make this attractive? You don't.
I don't
I don't
know.
fucking know. Maybe I'm wrong. I have been proven wrong at least once in my life.